The 80s are back in pop, and it's all in the drums. Today we're breaking down 4 of the hottest retro drum sounds and showing you how to recreate them. Enjoy! In recent years, pop music has been drenched in nostalgia. We've already heard the 70s disco revival with artists like Dua Lipa, and now one of the biggest comebacks is the unmistakable sound of 80s drums. If you scroll through today's Spotify charts, most of what you'll hear falls into 2 main worlds, rap or pop. And in pop music, there's a clear trend. Almost all of the big pop artists have been featuring drum sounds that are heavily inspired by how drums sounded in the 1980s. You can hear it in Taylor Swift's latest record, in Sabrina Carpenter's glossy pop productions, in Chappell Roan's retro-inspired anthems, and even in more country-influenced artists like Post Malone. What's funny is that most of them share a common thread. Producer Jack Antonoff, who has played a huge role in bringing those nostalgic 80s-inspired textures back into modern pop production. Just like the drum sounds from 40 years ago, today's 80s-inspired drums fall into 2 main categories. On the one hand, dry, programmed drum machine beats. On the other, big acoustic-style sounds with live drums and gated reverb. We're gonna be looking at 2 songs from each category and recreate the drum sounds acoustically in this video. Taylor Swift's latest album is a perfect example of how 80s-inspired drum sounds are making a comeback in pop. Take her song The Fate of Ophelia. The drums there fall into the first category, with these dry, punchy hits that really give off that classic Lynn drum machine vibe.
The eldest daughter of a nobleman, Ophelia lived in fantasy.
Even though a lot of those modern drum sounds are programmed, we're recreating all of them acoustically, which means picking the right gear is super important. We started by putting together a basic kit that stays the same, but swapped out the snare drums to match each of the 4 songs in this video. For the basic kit, we went with a DrumCraft 20-inch urban kick with the Remo Power Stroke 3 coated and 13, 14, 16 and 18-inch DrumCraft concert toms. We left all the toms without a reso head to get that short, punchy 80s vibe. To muffle the kick, we threw in some blankets, and for the toms, we added some mini muffs and Remo crown gels. We'll round out the kit with Zildjian new Beat HiHats and a 19-inch Kerope crash ride. To nail Taylor's snare sound, we went with a 14 by 5.5-inch DrumCraft Vanguard aluminum snare. Pascal tuned it low, popped on a Mr. Muff muffin and even taped the snare wires a little, just enough to get the sound we wanted. The mics we used to capture all of the sounds in this videos are Beyerdynamic M201 on the snare top, a condenser MC740 on the bottom, an M88 as a Wurst mic between kick and snare, another M88 and MC740 inside the kick, MC930 condensers on the toms and hi-hat, and M160s as overheads. Here's the full mix.
As legend has it, you are quite the pyro. You light the match to watch it blow. And if you never call, to me, myself, and I, right before you lit my sky off. Now I can see it all. They wonder, you took me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. Keep it 100 on the.
Now that we've heard Taylor, let's move on to another example of a short and dry snare. It can be heard on Sabrina Carpenter's song Man-Child.
Why you always come running on me? Fuck my
To recreate the sound, we're using a DrumCraft Vanguard aluminum snare again, but this time in 14 by 6.5-inch size. The extra depth gives the drum more body and sustain, even at a similar tuning. We are using a Remo CS coated head which we muffled with a Mr. Muff muffin, and here's how it sounds.
why you always come running on me? Fuck my self-care. Have your brain just ain't there. Man, child, why you always come running, taking
For the next sound, we're sticking with Sabrina Carpenter, but moving into the second category, gated reverb. This means we add a reverb tail to the snare during mixing, which is then abruptly cut off by a noise gate. The result is a massive yet controlled sound because the reverb doesn't linger too long. Take a listen to Sabrina's song Nobody's Son, which features a snare with this effect.
Here we go again, crying in bed. What a familiar feeling. All my friends in love, and I'm the one they call for a third wheeling.
Huge sounds like this require huge drums, so we choose the biggest snare we have in our arsenal. A Sonor Kompressor 14x8-inch aluminum snare. Our snare has a Remo P77 coated head on it from when we last used it, which fit perfectly because of all of its built-in pre-muffling. Pascal tuned it low, muffled it with a muff bite, and here's how it sounds.
Here we go again, crying in bed. What a familiar feeling. Probably should have guessed he's like the rest, so fun and so deceiving. There's nobody's son, not anyone left for me to believe in.
The last song for this video features another example of this kind of huge snare sound. Chappell Roan's Pink Pony Club, produced by Dan Negro.
Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down.
With this example, it's important to emphasize that the mix is at least 50% of the final sound in such a scenario. We didn't change anything in our setup, same kit, same snare, same everything basically. Pascal only adjusted the way the drums are mixed, and the result is a completely different sound. Take a listen.
Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down.
So, what do you think about the comeback of these sounds? Do you love it? Or do you think it's unoriginal to revisit sounds that have already been used so much? Let us know down in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you next time.